Some breaking news. Foden has been named the Premier League's Player of the Season.
Face of the goal and Foden slides it over the line.
One of the best players in this Premier League, and we're talking at a tender age of 23, 24.
He's the best player right now in the Premier League.
If you think Cole Palmer is already clear of Phil Foden, you've fallen for the lie we keep telling about Phil Foden. Yes, Palmer's banging in penalties for Chelsea, trending every weekend, and social media loves him. But here's what you don't know. Phil Foden has already done what Palmer's dreaming of, winning 6 Premier League titles, scoring in Champions League knockouts, and carrying Pep Guardiola's system when it mattered most. The real question isn't whether Palmer has caught up. It's why we act like Foden's years of prime performances count for less than a few viral highlights. That's not just a debate. It's disrespect, because what Foden is doing at Manchester City isn't ordinary talent. It's generational. And since when did a few months of hype destroy 6 years of dominance? In this video, we'll talk about why we believe the lies about Foden when he's every bit a great rising star. So, here's the challenge. Even if you scroll through X right now, you'll see it everywhere. Palmer greater than Foden. Clips of Palmer burying penalties, flexing his composure, controlling games for Chelsea. Fans love it. It's clean, it's viral, and it's easy to package in 15 seconds.
His performances have demanded a starting.
But let's ask this. Why do we weigh Palmer's penalty box swagger more than Foden's 6 years of title-winning consistency? Why do we pretend Palmer's a maverick while Foden is just a cog in Pep's machine? The truth is simple. Highlights lie. Context doesn't. And if we strip away the social media noise, the fandom, what's left is a fact nobody wants to say out loud. Phil Foden has already been doing at the highest level what Palmer is just now experiencing. So how did we get here? How did one of the brightest English talents of his generation become known as overrated or inconsistent? Here are the lies people keep repeating. Lie number 1. Foden peaked early. We all point to his electric rise in 2020 and 2021, then claim he never kicked on. Seriously? Is that fair when his minutes were shared with Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Jack Grealish? World-class players in the same roles. In fact, in that same season, Foden scored 16 goals and 10 assists in all competitions, while still only at 20 years old and not even starting every game. Since then, his numbers have been remarkably consistent. In 2022 and 2023, he hit 15 goals despite missing 13 matches through injury. And by 23 years old, he had already played over 250 games for Manchester City. If peaking early means winning 6 league titles before you can rent a car in the US, then every player would beg to decline like that.
They've now scored 6 for the first time ever.
Lie number 2. He's a system player. That's honestly the most dumb lie to believe, that without Pep's structure, Foden would be nobody. Yet he's delivered as a winger, a false 9, and an attacking 8. Can a system player really thrive in 3 positions across 6 winning campaigns? How about you answer that? Look at these numbers in the 2023-24 season. Foden produced 27 goals plus assists across all competitions, the second best tally on City's squad behind only Erling Haaland. That's not just a cog. That's production across different roles, often rotating mid-game depending on Pep's needs. To call him a system player is to ignore the fact that he's in the system's flexibility. Lie number 3. He's not physical enough. This is a crazy lie. So is Palmer or Yamal or Isak physical enough? No more than Foden, we believe. Critics say he lacks the raw pace or strength to dominate like Palmer. But football isn't track and field. It's IQ, timing, touch. Foden's off-ball movement, ghosting between defenders, arriving in half spaces is exactly what wins tight games. Just for context, Foden averages nearly 7 progressive carries per 90 minutes in the Premier League, placing him among the elite in Europe's top leagues. He's not really bulldozing defenders, but he's slipping through gaps they didn't even see. That's exceptional talent. Do you remember against Newcastle in 2024? He completed 8 dribbles in one game, more than Palmer managed in his first 10 Chelsea appearances combined. Now, power can be flashy, but it's subtlety that wins titles. Lie number 4. He's not clutch. Really? Okay, hold on a second. Ask Borussia Dortmund fans about that Champions League quarterfinal in 2021, or Liverpool fans about his Anfield masterclasses, or Arsenal fans about the title run games. Foden has been decisive when City needed him most. That counts. Foden has 15 career goals in Champions League knockout stages and Premier League title race matches. That's the very definition of clutch. His goal against Dortmund in April 2021 was the difference in sending City through. In April 2023, his strike against Everton kept the title race alive. Even in the 2024 FA Cup semi-final, he was the player who created the breakthrough moment that Haaland finished. Now, if that's not clutch, then what is?
Savinho is off and Phil Foden's coming on now.
And yet, because Palmer's racking up penalties at Chelsea, fans convince themselves Palmer is already clear. Since when did a penalty highlight outweigh Champions League knockout goals? Palmer's penalty record is excellent, no denying that. But 12 of his first 18 Premier League goals for Chelsea came from the spot. That's not a knock, but it does show the contrast. Palmer's greatness is built on visibility, while Foden's is built on impact. One racks up clips for social media, the other racks up medals for Manchester City. That's the difference. To understand why the Foden lie exists, you have to go back to his roots. Stockport, Manchester, City Academy since childhood, nicknamed the Stockport Iniesta. From the start, Foden was cast not just as a talent, but as the talent. Pep Guardiola once called him the most talented player I've ever coached.
Most talented player I've ever seen in my career as a football player manager.
That's Pep, who managed Messi. And yet, because he never became the poster boy of a struggling team like Palmer at Chelsea, his genius has been easy to overlook. Foden's brilliance hides in plain sight because he adapts. He fills gaps. He sacrifices stardom for dominance. Think about it. Palmer thrives in spotlight moments. Foden thrives in shadows, doing the unnoticed movements, breaking lines, creating space for Haaland and others to shine. When Foden broke through, it wasn't by accident. Pep didn't hand him minutes out of charity. He earned them in the most ruthless squad in Europe. Remember 2018? 17 years old. Guardiola was asked if Foden should go out on loan like Jadon Sancho once did. Pep's response was, no, he's special. He stays here. And from there, Foden became City's quiet, lethal weapon. In the 2020-21 season, he exploded. Champions League knockouts, Premier League run-ins. This wasn't a kid playing cameos. This was a teenager bossing Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. So let's stop and think. How many players his age can say they were decisive in a Champions League quarterfinal? How many can say they dragged City through the battles with Liverpool? The rise wasn't hype. It was real goals, real assists, real trophies.
What a time for history to repeat. Surely now Manchester...
Well, Foden, that is what this young man can do.
Fast forward to 2023-24, Phil Foden's masterpiece season. De Bruyne injured for half the year, Bernardo Silva exhausted, and Grealish inconsistent. Who carried the load? It was Foden. 19 goals, 11 assists, named Premier League Young Player of the Year, voted Manchester City's Player of the Season. This wasn't potential anymore. This was proof. He became the heartbeat of Pep's system, not just a cog. For once, the boy from Stockport wasn't in anyone's shadow. He was the star, the one City couldn't function without. So how, within a year, did fans start calling him finished? Okay, so this is where the lie gets worse. The 2024-25 season. Illness, injuries, Pep rotating him heavily. Foden looked human, a bit frustrated. And instantly, football fans did what they always do. They turned. Palmer's clear. Foden peaks too soon. He's just a system player. But since when does one difficult season erase 6 years of dominance? Lionel Messi had droughts. Cristiano Ronaldo had dry patches. Kevin De Bruyne has had injury-plagued years. Why do we treat Foden differently? Because Foden's style isn't obvious. He's not flashy for the cameras. His brilliance doesn't trend on TikTok. It trends on score lines, on trophies, on banners raised in May. So if you ask yourself, is this really a decline or just a price every great player pays on the road to longevity? And this is where the lies need to be exposed. From the academy days, people called him the Stockport Iniesta. Do you realize the pressure of being compared to one of the greatest midfielders of all time before you even turn 20? No wonder fans frame everything as failure if he doesn't hit those impossible standards. He's too small, he's too weak. But small? Weak? This is the same player who ghosts into spaces Premier League defenders can't track. The same player who thrives in the chaos of Pep's tactical system. If size mattered more than IQ, half of City's trophies wouldn't exist. Remember when his mother made headlines for being fined after an incident? Fans chanted about it. Ugly, misogynist chants. Pep called it out. Imagine being 23, carrying your boyhood club, and still dealing with chants about your family. This is the stuff we never put in the highlight reels, but it's the weight he carries every time he steps onto the pitch. And the system player narrative, that's the cruelest one. As if thriving in Pep's system is a weakness, not a strength. Ask yourself, if it were that easy, why did Jack Grealish struggle in year 1? Why did countless others fade? Surviving Pep's system is hard. Thriving in it? That's generational. Okay, let's deal with the elephant in the room. Cole Palmer. No doubt Palmer has been sensational for Chelsea. Let's give him his flowers. Ice cold on penalties, fearless, carrying a struggling side with swagger. That matters. You can watch our video on how Cole Palmer is here. But here's the emotional dagger. Is it fair to compare Palmer's honeymoon season with Chelsea to Foden's 6 years of carrying the weight of a dynasty? Palmer is playing to save a sinking ship. Every goal feels like a lifeline. So it's dramatic. It's viral. Foden plays to keep a dynasty alive. Every goal is another brick in a wall of dominance. It's quieter, it's less glamorous, but it's harder. Would Palmer look the same if he had to play in a squad packed with stars like Haaland, Bernardo Silva, and even Kevin De Bruyne during his peak? Would he sacrifice the spotlight for silverware like Foden does? This isn't Palmer versus Foden. This is a battle of perception. Flash versus depth. Viral versus vital. So let's strip away all the noise, the hype wars, the chants, and the Twitter debates. What are you left with? A simple truth. Phil Foden is generational because he's not just good at one thing. He's world class at many. He's two-footed, scoring hat tricks with both left and right. He's versatile, thriving as a winger, an 8, a false 9, and now possibly the heir to De Bruyne's throne. He's a clutch player, scoring in Champions League knockouts and derby deciders. And here's what people forget. He's only 25. 6 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, a Champions League, and countless decisive goals. If he retired tomorrow, his medal collection would already dwarf legends who played 15 years. Yet instead of celebrating that, we nitpick. We look for flaws. We buy into lies. The truth is, he's still developing, still sharpening, still growing. He hasn't reached his prime yet. So let's reframe this once and for all. Phil Foden isn't overrated. He isn't a system product. He isn't yesterday's star fading into Palmer's shadow. He's the quiet engine of one of the greatest dynasties in football history. He's the local kid who made it on a team built on billion-pound imports. He's proof that City can create their own greatness, not just buy it. And most importantly, he's still writing the story. So next time someone tells you Palmer's clear of Foden, ask them this: how many viral highlights equal a Champions League semi-final goal? How many penalty kicks equal 6 Premier League titles? The answer? None. Because Phil Foden isn't chasing clout. He's chasing greatness. And whether the world admits it or not, he's already ahead of the hype. Look, if you made it this far, you're not just a fan. You're a football mind. Smash that like button if you respect football IQ over football edits. Be sure to subscribe for more deep dive stories that cut through the noise. And let us know your thoughts in the comments. Has Phil Foden already proven he's generational? Or are we still sleeping on his greatness?